All right, so this is going to be a controversial opinion, but I personally stand by it. I think the patch is going in the right direction. I've said it multiple times. I do think there are some flaws with the patch, mainly that they overdid some of the fortification changes. There's a really strong, and I'm going to show you guys an example of it. But I think this is exactly how AOM should have been released. This is a better game. This is better than when it was first released because I'm having so many games where there's back and forth. There's actually strategy. And let me show you guys. It's easy to say something, but almost every game I play now, there's a lot of back and forth. There's a lot of strategy that happens. This is a game versus Keto, and I really enjoyed this game. And there was another game I played versus Nye and Racing Cat. That was a very good game too. But this one is something a little bit different than what you guys are probably used to. So I'm going to show you this. And I personally believe that like a lot of these guys are trying to abuse stuff against me just to make me like admit that the patch was actually really bad. But it's not happening. I personally am having a lot more fun on this patch than I did on the last patch. So game starts off. I'm Poseidon. He's set. I think my opening was a little bit on the bad side here, which you're about to see very shortly. But I think something like this, if you guys haven't already implemented it in your game, you should definitely be using buildings to kind of create some positioning advantages right here. Like you can't just run in, he can't run in with Spearman and just, take this gold mine out. So small little things like that, you guys should definitely try to incorporate into your game. So I'm just going to speed it up a little bit. It's a longer game. What I should have done, and what you guys should do as well, is you guys need to keep your scout in his base around 4 minutes, right? Where's my scout? My scout is all the way over here. You need a scout go in here, and you need to figure out what he's doing. Here, if I had my scout and I scouted, okay, he has 13 villagers on gold, 1 on wood, and a handful on food, then you know that it's going to be a second TC most likely, right? Or more than likely, rather. So I should have been in position. If I knew that the second TC was coming ASAP, I would have had my 2 heroes and my centaur here, and I could have created some chaos. Maybe I couldn't have stopped it, but just slow him down a little bit, irritate him a little bit, and that's what I should have done. But my units were not in position, or my scout was not in position, and that created some issues for me. So here, he was able to get this TC scot-free, and unfortunately, I had no idea that that's what he was doing, and I was completely out of position. Right? I could have easily taken out all of these animals. I could have probably had my hero on his Anubite, and you could have done. I could have done a little bit of damage, but not. I mean, maybe not stop the TC, but still not bad. And also, like he had his Anubite right on my second TC, and I had to waste my ceasefire. So this is the part where I think that they overdid the little bit of the fortification change. Is I can't do any type of harassment under a TC with empowerment, right? The TC with empowerment does 40 pierce damage a second. You can see it's blowing up this Atlanta. Like there's literally no chance of me doing any type of damage here, right? So this is where I think it's a little bit too strong. I think maybe they should have scaled the town center damage, because the town center can be like, maybe they give a 25% extra damage every age or something like that. I can't do anything, right? He's just right here sitting in his base. I can't even go in and get the berries or the chicken, because even the towers do, like, they pack a punch now too. So um, you see, there's almost nothing you can do at this point. He's also playing set, so you can kind of do this, whereas other civs can't really do it as much. Um, and he's probably getting crenellations too. So once he gets crenellations, that's the seal in the coffin. No amount of aggression is going to work. So that's one area which I think was that took a little bit of a back. Well, it wasn't really considered that much when it came to the fortification change. Fortifications need to be able to hold a position, um, but at the same time, you need to be able to allow for raiding and counterplay. Whereas there's right now you can't raid. If I go to try to raid something, I'm gonna lose all my units, right? Even if I just try to zone in and out or something, like I can't do anything at this point. So making units is kind of pointless. But anyways, let's talk about the game. So now he's on his gold mine. He did a really interesting strategy. Um, I walled up the whole map because I figured I have map control. See, this is one of the advantages you get from actually making army is you get map control. And when you get map control, you can start walling up everything all across the map. Not only did I wall everything up, I also kept tabs on his side of the map. You see, I put a stable here, and I'm going to put a stable here and a stable here, right? Or maybe not a stable everywhere, but like I'm going to have vision of his side of the map. So now he's bottled into this little corner right here. I have the whole entire map at my disposal. So that's one of the advantage of having map control. Um, and that really paid off for me later on, which we'll see. I was able to keep him a little bit at bay from this town center, and I was able to take it myself. Now you can see he's going for like omega defensive with lots of fortifications and stuff, right? So there's no way for me to push in with units, and I recognize that now that you can't really do anything with units. You need siege, and I think you should. I think siege is important. You do need siege. You shouldn't be able to just overrun a position with like a ton of units, right? So siege is important, and now these games are showcasing that siege is a valuable part of the game, whereas in the past it was just a afterthought for most of us. So now I'm going for siege, he's going for siege, and we're gonna do siege warfare under the fortresses and stuff like that. Where now there's a little bit of room for strategy, right? I'm sieging his base, and he's actually got the upgrade, which allows him to get catapults in H3. So he's going to be trying to stop me from sieging him down. If he didn't have that, by the way, I think I can just take out this entire base. But the fact that he had the range siege in H3 made it so that he can keep me at bay. So you'll see very soon. Here's a catapult. I personally don't like this, where you're just it's siege on siege warfare. I think it's kind of a little bit silly, but it is what it is. I just noticed my units are getting melted under these under this fortification right here. So I know that there was no chance at this point for me to take this position. So I did something a little bit unorthodox. And Keto actually laughed at this. He said, "Oh, there's only a handful of people that would do something like this." So I went around. I was ready to give up this entire base. I was ready to sack it, and I did a little circle, under the cover of darkness, and then just attacked his main base. Now he's attacking here, I'm attacking here, and this is a lot easier for me to attack because it doesn't pack as much of a punch as these two, right? These two have way more damage output. So now I also behind this I took another town center. He's making a lot of Migdos, and making Migdos is not free, right? There's a cost to it. So I made one less fortress and I took a town center. So now I'll have an economical advantage. And meanwhile, I pushed the right position, so I slowed him down a little bit, so I can allow this TC to pay itself off. It gives me more time. Okay, so you can see like right now, this is the type of game that I want. There's actually a ton of strategy that's happening, right? Normally you would just make one big bronze push or the game would be over, or your opponent would go fast mythic. It's funny because everyone said that this patch was going to evolve into fast mythic, right? Because fortifications are so strong, everyone's just going to jump to mythic. And that might be the case, but I've yet to see anyone go fast mythic against me. It's just been lots of heroic age warfare. Now heroic age is actually back. It's not like before. Where you just jump ages and stuff. Like now I put two fortresses down, and I while he was distracted here, I'm attacking here, right? So just playing, we're just playing each other's positioning. It's a positioning game at this point, right? He invests, if he invests too much here, then I go here, and if he invests a lot here, then I can go back here, and vice versa. It's just back and forth, back and forth. And this is, I think, the way the game should be played. This is how AOM should have came out, was released. I think this patch it shows that there's a light at the end of the tunnel. Now there's a lot of changes that need to be done. It's not perfect. There's a lot of things that are a little bit irritating and frustrating. Even for me, I've noticed it immediately. Like you can't raid, and then some of these myth units I still feel like are just a little too strong. Everything was toned down and a little bit, and there was no like really really strong things. I think that would create a lot more room for maneuvering and a lot of strategy like this. You see, like he invested a lot here, so I just rotated back to the other side, and just rinse and repeat. Now he can't move too forward. His army can't move too forward. He's gonna if he tries to come here, I have the faster units, so I'm gonna flank him, and he's gonna lose everything. You're gonna see very soon, right? So he tries to go for the main base, but I can just jump right on top of him at this point. and my units are coming around from the back as well. So he has to be very careful how he moves his chariots, right? My army can move around a lot more freely because they're the faster units. He can't just do this because also I counter his chariots as well. You can see that just like mopping everything up right now. One bad move and you can be pushed back like this. Once again, non-stop back and forth games, 20 minutes. We're still not Mythic, right? He's about to hit Mythic, but we're still in Heroic Age. This is the kind of game that I was asking for. This is what I wanted to see. And I think we finally got some semblance of that. And I'm going to repeat it. I know, like, because I don't want to trigger anyone. I know it's not a perfect patch. I know certain things are still too strong. But you can kind of see that this is way more enjoyable to watch and to play than just make one big army, use your god power, kill your opponent, and that's all she wrote, right? That's not the way a strategy game should be played. This is real strategy where you're constantly looking at your opponent's army and positioning and you're reacting to it. That's how I think things need to be done. Now he's in the Mythic Age. He went for a Meteorite. I'm almost in the Mythic Age. I'm going for Hephaestus. In hindsight, I don't know if I needed Hephaestus, but I could have probably gone for Earthquake too, but I wanted to try Hephaestus because of the new buffs to him. And I have 4 TCs right now, by the way. I don't know if you guys noticed this, though. I took this side of the map right here. I took this town center, so this little stable right here really paid off, I think. Now he did Meteorite on my army. I split up the units a little bit. Still got a ton of values, like a ton of value. Look how many peltis I lost right there. But he's on a timer. He needs to kill me at this point, right? Because his gold mine is running out here. I think it just ran out. This is his last gold mine. He doesn't have trade in place. And I have the entire map, right? And I have 4 town centers. I have all the gold mines. And I think this is the end of it. So like this is just one game as an example, but there have been other, I've been almost every game I play, it's kind of like this. Like it's been so much more back and forth, and I don't know if it's just me, but like this game is a very very long game. But this one was just tons of back and forth, and he stayed on 1 town center and I was on 2, right? So like there's strategy there too. I feel like maybe 1 town center is a little bit tough nowadays because the town center, the second TC is very easy to defend with the extra DPS on it. But he went on 1 town center and he made it work, right? He was, albeit I feel like I mean I'm still a little bit rusty. So, and I think if I was even like 50% of my actual level, I don't think he would have had a chance in this game. But yeah, like he's playing 1 TC, I'm playing 2. And I made a lot of Toxicity, and anyways, this is a very long game. Actually, we can probably run. No, I gotta go. But let me know what your thoughts are, guys. Let me know what you think of this patch. I know I've been putting out a "Do you like this patch?" poll. I put the poll up. I was talking about it a little bit earlier, but I'm liking it. I think this is fun. For me, this is fun. Back and forth games are more fun. Yes, they went a little heavy on the fortifications. They need to notch it down a little bit, but overall, I like it. I mean, what do you guys think? Let me know in the comment section below, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you. Bye.